Welcome everybody to the Power Couples Coaching Show. This is Brent.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are coming to you not live. This is recorded and edited so that it sounds better than it probably does in real life.
Scary.
Huh?
I said that's scary.
That's scary. So tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about... What are we talking about? What are you talking about?
I'm going to be talking about these alternative plastic surgery procedures and all these things that are out today. One of my clients mentioned some of this stuff to me and like my opinion on it, and I had to kind of look into it a little bit because I hadn't really heard of some of the things, and I wanted to kind of touch on that and give my opinion on and what I think about all of it and if it's worth it and what.
Yeah, cool, baby. And I'm gonna show you guys a little bit more resistance band stuff, and then I think we're gonna talk a little bit about the most important thing, since we're talking about plastic surgery and body transformations and working out and all that stuff. We want to talk about the most important aspect, the only aspect that you cannot do without. If you do without, you will fail, and that's diet. Exercise is important too, but diet is the main factor. What you put in your face.
Yep.
Yeah, do you agree?
I agree.
You agree?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. We are in agreement.
And then what are we gonna talk about?
Are we talking about anything else? I don't know. Food? Oh, food addictions. Yeah. We're going to talk about food addictions.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm addicted to food.
I think most people are.
I think we're all addicted to food.
Yeah.
I think that you don't
Most
even
people.
realize that you have a heroin level addiction to food, especially sugars.
Yep.
100%. And that is why you can't lose weight. That's why. Because you can't put the fork down. What's your thoughts on that?
On what?
On not being able to put the fork down.
I mean, most people love food, and it's like a source of comfort for people, I think. So, you need food to live. So I think that it's one of those things. It's like it's hard to avoid. So
it's definitely hard to avoid.
People have
eating.
to find ways to work on it, and there's solutions out there.
It is a weird addiction because it's the only addiction I can think of off the top of my head where
You can't abstain from it.
Yeah, you can't abstain from it. Everybody has to do it. And a lot of people are physically and mentally addicted to food. I don't know if they're physically, maybe. Somebody might be so addicted to sugar that they like crash and throw up if they stop eating it.
I can
Caffeine.
imagine.
Caffeine's just a drug. It's not food, but it's in food.
Drinks.
Energy drinks, yeah. I've been addicted to energy drinks. So
Me
is
too.
someone else.
Yep. It's not good.
Yeah.
Don't get addicted to them.
No, they're not good for you. They're definitely not good for you. So anyways, let me hear a little bit about what you talking about with this plastic surgery stuff. Yeah.
The first procedure was called cool sculpting, and basically it is freezing your fat, and it takes like 35 minutes, and it's supposed to freeze your fat, and your body's supposed to just like process and remove that fat somehow. And
So wait, how do they freeze the fat, like without freezing the skin?
that's what makes no sense,
That
like
makes
it's
no
like
sense.
it's a little sketch because you get frostbite if it was that cold on your skin. So it's like, how would it do that? So and then it could take up to 12 weeks to work. So you might see like a little bit of results early, and then it could happen up to 12 weeks into it, and then you need more than one procedure as well. So it's like, I don't know, to me it's hard to really say. They also tell you to eat healthy, so it's, I don't know, to me it's kind of hard to whatever. Is there The next one was called M Sculpt, and people can either do this on their like abs or their butt usually. That's like where they usually do it. It looks like these weird little like fan looking devices, and they like put it on the area. I forget how long it was, maybe like I can't even guess. I don't know how long it is, but what it does is it causes involuntary muscle contractions. The last one that I looked into was this vacuum Brazilian butt lift procedure. It was weird. It was like they literally put the fat in like this like, vacuum thing for 35 minutes, and I was like looking at some reviews, and people were saying that like in some rare cases, which things can happen, but they were just saying it was like really painful, and like it was just like the recovery process, and it just like did not feel good. It's like it doesn't take that long, I don't think, but it's like supposed to only last 3 weeks, and I think she said it was like $300.
Wow.
And it doesn't last, and it's just like it looks crazy, and it's just like I didn't really see what it looked like after, but it's so temporary, and it's not really, I don't know, I didn't hear anything positive about it really.
What didn't you see afterwards?
Like an after, yeah, like I just saw what it looked like during.
Oh, you saw what
like
it was like during
yeah,
the procedure.
Right.
Gotcha.
But I can tell you that that's not worth it.
It's pretty expensive.
Yeah. It's nuts for something that only lasts 3 weeks. Like, who has money for that? Like, that's like insane.
We talked to our client as well, and he's a plastic surgeon, and he he had a lot to say about these procedures. I'll just say that.
Yeah, and we kind of agreed. So for the school sculpting, oh god,
cool sculpting.
So as far as the cool sculpting, I saw a bunch of like different reviews and like people's opinions on it after they got it done, and people said they noticed like very minimal difference, and it was pretty expensive really anywhere that you go, but some places are more expensive than others, but either way, definitely not really worth it for them. Like for the money they spent, they weren't really happy with it. And it doesn't really make sense either, I don't think, from like a scientific like standpoint. I don't think that it makes sense, because like I think it's not cold enough that the fat would do anything, because you would get frostbite, I'm pretty sure, if it was. But 100%, that's what I think. And then for M-Sculpt, again, it's like a very expensive thing, and you need multiple procedures done. So there was a little bit more of a difference, I think, from this, but I still wouldn't really recommend it for how much money it is. It's like just one of those things. It's like I don't really think it makes like a really significant change.
Was that the one that was like $2,000? A session, and you had to go like 12 sessions?
I think so. I think they both kind of were very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not worth it. And then the BBL, I think, is just kind of absurd, like, because it doesn't make sense, and it's like, I mean, the suction cup one, it doesn't make sense, and like it's so short lived that it's kind of like, why would you just, I don't know, like people have too much money.
So the suction cup one basically just like sucks you and holds you in the place
like
that you
puts
want
their
to
butt in
be,
there.
and then they turn it off, and then like it's supposed to stay in that position.
I guess. And it's just like weird, and it can't be like healthy for you. It's just like very weird. These procedures mimic liposuction and Brazilian butt lift that are done in plastic surgery. And in liposuction, they actually remove the fat from your body with this like vacuum like tool. And so it actually like takes the fat out of your body. Like it's not there anymore. I think in combination with, proper diet and exercise, it can last probably, whereas the other one, it's very like questionable, like whether or not it works. Obviously it's more invasive, but that's something else.
Yeah.
And oh wait, were you gonna say something?
No, never mind. I wasn't gonna say anything.
And in Brazilian butt lift, they actually take fat, I think they lipo the fat out, and then they graft it into like another area of the body. So they take it from an area that has like more like stubborn fat that they don't want there, and then put it in your butt and make it more full.
I think that's the best one, because you still stay It's what everybody wishes exercise did, which
Right.
was take fat from one place and put it somewhere else. Unfortunately, it doesn't do that. It makes you lose the fat and gain some muscle somewhere else. But anyways, continue.
So I'm not really sure how long that lasts for.
What happens if you work out after getting a procedure like that done?
Um, if like the person didn't work out before, I don't know, because like you can't choose where your fat comes from. Like when you lose weight, when you like get leaner, it comes from everywhere. So technically, there's no reason why it wouldn't like target it there too. So I don't know. I think if
Okay.
somebody maintains the lifestyle that they had when they got it, I think it does last.
Yeah, but so you're saying if you take the fat off of another part of your body and then put it in your butt and then you go and run a bunch of laps around a track every day, you might lose your butt?
I think it's definitely a possibility.
That's crazy.
But I think it still has probably more potential to work than the other one for
Yeah.
a longer time. Definitely. The other one's only 3 weeks, you know?
Yeah.
So,
And super expensive. It's probably more expensive to do all the procedures than it is to get a Brazilian butt lift.
yeah, maybe.
All
It's
those
possible.
other alternative procedures.
Maybe.
Yeah, stupid
And
expensive.
yeah, from what I gathered from all of this, I think, it always comes back to your lifestyle and like what your diet looks like and your exercise routine. I think that it's important to do as much as you can with what you're able to do. That being said, also, you know, adults can make their own decisions, and I think people should do what's best for them. Like, I don't look down on people that decide to get a surgery. I definitely don't think that the like alternative procedures that I talked about in the first half are worth it. Like, I think it's just kind of like a waste of money. Like, but as far as surgeries go, I think it's really up to people at the end of the day. And obviously, if people are going to go that route, it's important to do proper research and kind of feel comfortable with what you're doing, you know? And what's important with making sure that your diet and exercise are good is the fact that you get all these other benefits with it, like health benefits, and that you don't really get from getting a procedure. So it's important to be doing that as well. Definitely.
It's even more important.
And working out can definitely help you maintain surgery as well. Like if it's
Yeah.
liposuction.
Dope. So basically, this is a bunch
I
of.
just made a weird face. Wait, stop. Go over again. Sorry.
So basically, it's just a bunch of expensive bullcrap, and you should just work out and have a good diet, and you'll probably fare better off.
Yeah, and you can get
Yeah.
pretty far doing that, but we live in a society where everybody wants like instant gratification, and like I don't judge people for that either.
Yeah, they're
So
paying for instant gratification, but they're not
we
getting
all do it.
anything really. They're getting the idea of instant gratification. They're like, "Hey, here's instant results if you pay for it. Here's my money. I'll pay for it." And then get little to no results. Like, I don't know. It's just that's it. It's dumb.
Yeah, and something kind of crazy that I just remembered. Uh, my client went to do something at one of those places. I can't remember what it was, but it might have been the cool sculpting. I don't know. But she said that because I have her doing, like, she's on keto right now, and they told her, they're like, oh, well, it doesn't work that well when you do keto because then it's like you're just putting the fat back or whatever. And I was like, that's not how that works. It's not the same kind of fat. And I was like, she's like, you're telling someone to not do their diet when you know nothing about like them or like anything. Like, it was really like crazy,
Know
and it
nothing
just like
about
was such a big
diet.
turn off. And I don't know, it's crazy to me.
Wow.
So it
Who was
shows
this?
the lady that owned that place or that works there. I don't know what the place was called, and I'm not gonna put it out
I'm not
there.
gonna
but
put them on blast.
no, but it's just like, and I'm not saying it's every person that does shit like this, but it's just like
What the?
stupid.
They're stupid. Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like, stop doing what's working for you, and let's just leave it up to freezing it off. That's what we
Yeah.
have to do forever. Fuck being healthy.
Oh my god.
Fuck being healthy.
All right, well, with that, we're going to jump into a little bit of resistance band training. Just a few exercises, little 15-minute routine you can do at home for your arms. And again, if there's anything you guys want to see, drop it down in the comments below.
Alright guys, as promised, here's a quick resistance band arm routine. You're going to want to perform each exercise 3 times for 12 to 15 reps each set. Choose a resistance band that will allow you to leave about 2 reps in the tank for each set. Except for the last set, go to failure. That means we're going to pick a resistance that allows us to reach 12 to 15 reps, but we're going to stop about 2 short of that goal. The last set though, a gun to your head, you could not do another one. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to do is step on the inside of the band. Then take the band in an underhand grip like you're going to do a standard barbell curl. Then lift the band up over your head, rotating your hands behind you. You're going to extend straight up and out, trying to keep your elbows as close to your head as you can. If you have super tight lats like me, you're going to be flared out like this. I know this might look easy, but just wait until your 3rd round. Now you want to bring the band back down over your head. Grab the band in an overhand grip. Then rotate your hands underneath and curl like a standard barbell curl. As you curl, rotate your fist inward like you're trying to point at the wall on either side of you with your pinkies. Now step out of one side of the band. Wrap the end of the band around the opposite hand, keeping a neutral spine, bend at the hip. Now, keeping your elbow locked in place, extend back behind you. Be sure to fully extend with any tricep exercise to get the fullest contraction. Now, leaving the same foot in that band and using the same hand, you're simply going to do a cross-body hammer curl. Now, you'll notice that I didn't start with a hammer curl, but then I adjusted a couple reps in. You want to hold the band like you would hold a hammer, straight up and down. Now the only thing left to do for this round is repeat the same thing on the other side. Mind-muscle connection is one of the most important, if not the most important thing when it comes to resistance training. Time under tension is what builds muscle. So the longer that the muscle is actually under resistance, the more hypertrophy, the more muscle growth that will occur. There is no easy way to build muscle. It is resistance training, good diet, and good sleep. Lifestyle choices make all the difference. There is no quick fix, only hard work and determination.
Yeah, so that's a little bit more resistance band training for you guys. But kind of going back to what we were talking about before, all of these procedures, everything that everybody does, all the fads, all the diets, all the workout regimens, all the plastic surgery, everything, it all stems from body dysmorphia. You know, a lot of, now of course there are people who just do it for the health and whatnot, but a lot of people, a lot of bodybuilders, a lot of people that you would think wouldn't feel bad about the way they look have body dysmorphia. And you know, it's like multi-billion-dollar industry to keep people hating themselves and the way they look, and you know, making them buy everything, every gadget, every fad, every diet, every book, workout plan, app, whatever. You know, so this industry is built on the back of making people feel less than, and you know, that leads to a lot of other bad things. Like the real epidemic in this country is obesity, and a lot of it stems from directly from the fitness industry. You know, we present this image, this perfect body image, and everybody strives for it and everybody tries to achieve it. And then when people aren't able to achieve it, they give up and they get bitter towards eating right and working out because none of this garbage works for them. And then that leads to food addictions, which are really, really hard to break. A food addiction is no different than a chemical dependency on a drug.
That's the truth.
In the brain, it's the same chemicals going off that go off when you ingest cocaine or heroin or anything like that. You only have so many chemicals in your brain that can cause your sensations in your body and your psyche and everything, and whatever you ingest can elicit different responses.
Another aspect of, I think, food addiction is like people use it to like medicate like a drug, like you said. A lot of the time it's like trauma based, like people not wanting to like cope with the reality of something. It's like gives them comfort for like a minute or however long they're binging for or whatever they're doing.
Case in point, the words comfort food.
Right.
Food can be very comforting. It can be, for some people, it's the only thing that was there when no one else was there. It made you feel warm and good and full when you felt so empty inside.
For a second.
And then it probably made you feel sick. Sugar is one of the most addictive substances on this planet. It is widespread addiction.
And diabetes.
And the thing is, it's not like sugar all in all is bad or any foods are all in all bad. It's the overconsumption of foods that is bad. At the end of the day, calories in, calories out. That's what matters the most. How many calories you take in and how many calories you expend. No matter if it's more carbs, more fat, more whatever. Now, there are dietary benefits to eating a lower carb diet and a higher fat diet. There are benefits to all different combinations of macros, but at the end of the day, calories in, calories out, if we're talking about obesity and being overweight, and move more. You got to move more. You got to eat less and move more if you want to lose weight. If you want the body of your dreams, you have to eat less and move more.
I mean, not that you can't eat anything.
Huh?
But just like, I don't know, like...
It's eat less
eat
and move
less,
more.
But like, it depends.
You can't give them an out. Eat less.
Eat less than you're eating.
And move more.
That doesn't mean you can't eat, though.
Well, this is what you do. Eat less than what you're eating. Like, dial it back a little bit. Check the scale.
Tighten that shit up, man.
Yeah. Check the scale, though. If nothing's changed, you're either going to have to move more or you're going to have to eat even less.
Right.
So, people will tell you not to step on a scale. That's stupid, because how do you know if something's working or not? If you're really trying to lose weight, if that's the goal.
Body fat measurements.
Yeah, well, I'm saying if you want to see weight loss, if weight loss is the goal, you want to see pounds go down, then you have to step on the scale and you have to see if what you're doing is working. Are you eating too many calories? Or are you not moving enough? And that's the only way to really gauge it. So definitely want to check your scale if your goal is weight loss. And if you're not seeing the numbers on the scale go down, you're either eating too much or you're moving too little.
Yep.
End of story. No easy way out.
Nope.
You got to work
simple,
hard. Yeah, it's super simple.
It's discipline.
It's so simple. It's just, it's discipline. And food addictions, like we said, they're real addictions. So and I understand addiction. I was an addict for a very long time. I know what it's like to be in the grips of an addiction. And food addiction to sugar, addiction to comfort foods and processed foods and all of that, like, it's going to be really hard to give up. but the only thing you can do is put it down. There are programs like, there's like NA and AA for food addiction. If you need help, there's help out there. And I really suggest you get help, get a personal trainer, or just get somebody who can keep you accountable, whether it's another loved one. Sometimes loved ones won't really keep you accountable. So
yeah, don't get someone that will enable you.
Yeah, it's usually better to have an outside source like a trainer, who will keep you accountable, a good trainer, who's going to tell you that it's calories in, calories out, eat less food, work out more, and is going to make sure that you are trained properly and safely, and he's going to do it correct. If they come at you with any kind of other phooey, you want to move on to somebody else. But there are people out there, there are support groups out there, that can help you with food addiction, and you got to treat it like a real addiction.
Yeah, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's something that like majority of people struggle with. It's just, it doesn't always like affect somebody. It doesn't affect everybody on the same level. Some people struggle more,
Yeah.
And that just because somebody looks a certain way doesn't mean they don't struggle with this kind of thing. Like,
oh yeah,
it's very common, especially in like the fitness industry, like in just like
binge eating.
Well, yeah, like I mean, when especially like people that compete and are just like very strict like with their diets, and it definitely can backfire if it's not done correctly or if it's rushed, and it can have a lot of negative effects for a while. So
yeah,
you want to do it correctly.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand, is that people can look like they're in shape and be completely either out of shape or just in poor health.
Right.
You don't know what their insides look like just because their outsides look good. But yeah, food addiction is to be taken seriously. Obesity is one of the number one killers in America, and heart disease and all of that, and that all goes hand to hand on what you are eating, what you are putting in your face.
And make sure you're getting enough food too.
Enough food. Yeah, don't undereat. So many clients come to us and they say, look, I'm eating 900 calories. Isn't that a good thing? And we're like, no, that's not a good thing. You should be eating way more calories than that. Your body is not going to lose weight doing that. You're going to have an opposite effect. You're going to find it very hard to lose weight because your body is going to slow that metabolism down to try to keep you in,
starvation mode.
Out of, yeah, exactly, to keep you from dying. So you definitely want to eat enough food. You want to calculate your calories. Get a app like MyFitnessPal. See what your calories are supposed to be. Try to stay within that number as best as you can.
Especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's important to know like a general idea because people don't always know, and they're not, sometimes they're not even close.
Yeah. And get a food scale for that reason, because, guesstimating is not a good idea when it comes to food. You would be amazed at how much a handful of almonds,
peanut butter.
Yeah, and peanut butter, or nuts especially, can be way more calories than you think it is. So definitely weigh your food, measure your food, and after a while you get good at it. And you don't have to be as meticulous about it. You'll start to be more intuitive when it comes to eating and what size portions you're eating. You got to learn how to eat better. That is the number one thing. If you want a happier, healthier life, if you want longevity, if you want to be around for your kids, for your parents, for your dog, whoever, you got to be healthy. You got to eat right. Because most of us are eating ourselves into a grave. We're terrified over, a virus, but we're all killing ourselves every day with the food that we're eating. What are some ideas you got for somebody who maybe is dealing with food addiction? Like, because we can tell them, eat less and work out more, but how can you get into that mindset where you actually do it? Like, that's the real question.
Well, they definitely have to want help, like, because it's, you definitely can't force anyone to do anything, like any addiction.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be voluntary, and it's a big step to change something like that, because it also, you know, is like a chemical reaction in your brain. You get used to those patterns and, you know, those chemicals being released in your brain.
So what would you tell somebody to do to break those patterns?
I agree with what we mentioned. I think definitely trying like a 12-step kind of program for it, getting like a support group, or, you know, really any kind of support group that can help you be accountable and process like the, you know, emotions during the process. And yeah, making sure your diet is balanced, I think, is a big one. You have to be getting enough food, or you're just going to be in this cycle of like binging, and you're not going to be satisfied, and it's just going to be this like cycle of like misery where you keep coming back to the same place, and it's just like more frustrating every time, and you're like, you feel like shit, and it's just like, you know. So making sure that at least like all of your dietary needs are met is like a really good just first step, I guess.
So this is my opinion. So what you need to do is you need to find somebody that can keep you accountable. You need to find out what your caloric intake needs to be.
Yes.
You need to get yourself some kind of food tracker so that you can calculate how many calories you're eating every day. You need to try to start making better food choices, low calorie, dense foods that will fill you up without going over your caloric intake for the day. And you need to find something that you like doing.
Right, I was going to say stay busy.
And exercise. Whatever you like. Exercise can be anything you like. It doesn't have to be lifting weights.
Anything that makes you be present and like in touch with yourself and what you're feeling, I think.
Take
is
the dogs for a
helpful.
walk.
Yeah, it's good to get your mind off of it and not be like constantly obsessing about the problem, you know?
Yeah.
That's really important.
Agree. So guys, if there's anything that you need help with as far as diet, exercise, or anything like that, please reach out to us. We would love to respond to you, interact with you, help you out. Make sure that you subscribe, like, and you can share if you like. And follow us on Instagram.
We'll post the links below.
Yeah. Check out our website, powercouplescoaching.us. And other than that, we had a great time, and we will see you again soon.
See you soon, guys.
Bye.
Bye.